local governments must enforce the law. I know I've said this several times. But we can sit here all day long and come up with laws and rules. They are only as good as their enforcement. And a lack of enforcement has contributed to this problem. There is no one who can say they didn't see this coming. We've had concerts in the Hamptons that should have never happened. We've had bars that have attracted crowds over and over again that should have never happened. We've had college parties that have often happened off-site that should have never happened. We have had religious gatherings that have been circulated on social media for weeks, and action was not taken. There can be no surprise. The rules are only as good as the enforcement. Well, we have COVID fatigue. We're tired of wearing masks. COVID isn't tired. The virus isn't tired. The virus still energetic and strong enough to kill you. It's no time to be fatigued. We don't have the luxury of fatigue. And I understand these are politically difficult situations. I've tried everything with local governments. I said that I would fine local governments if they fail to enforce the law, because these are laws that they're enforcing. A law doesn't work if you're too incompetent or too politically frightened to enforce it, period, said A.J. Parkinson. I also said to local governments, blame me. I understand these are all difficult acts to enforce. These are state laws. Blame me. I have no problem with that. Moving forward, I'm not going to pass more laws that are not enforced. This is a government that is competent. This is a government that is capable. This is a government that has helped the people of the state through this horrendous situation. We'll continue to do it. We do it because we're effective. That's why. Local governments need to assign people to a state enforcement task force, because I want to make sure that that is happening. New York City must provide 400 personnel to the New York State Task Force. I want to thank our government partners in this cluster initiative. I've spoken to many of them myself today, but we have in Binghamton, Broome, Jason Garner has been very helpful, Stephen Newhouse in Orange, Ed Day in Rockland County. We spoke through some issues today. I want to thank him very much for his cooperation. New York City we've been working with, Laura Curran in Nassau we've been working with. Together we're going to get this done. It's not easy, but we know where the cases are and we know what we have to do. So government has to do its job, but individuals have to do their job also. And organizations have to do their job also. We're all citizens, and it's not government's job to catch you. It's the citizen's obligation to do the right thing, right? You don't speed on the road. Not just because you're afraid to get a ticket. You don't speed because you don't want to kill anyone, right? You act responsibly with COVID because you want to protect yourself, you want to protect your family, you want to protect other people. And organizations have to do the same thing. I am informing all houses of worship today. Obviously, these rules, the new rules, are most impactful on houses of worship, because this virus is not coming from non-essential businesses. That's not what this is about. It may be spread by non-essential businesses. The virus is not starting in schools. It may be spread by schools. This is about mass gatherings. This is about mass gatherings. And one of the prime places of mass gatherings are houses of worship. I understand it's a sensitive topic, but that is the truth, period. You want to solve the problem? Acknowledge the problem. Deny the problem, look at a red herring, and then the problem gets worse. The problem is mass gatherings and houses of worship, colleges, and some miscellaneous foolish behavior in bars, outdoor venues, etc. I spoke to members of the Orthodox Jewish community today. I spoke to the leaders myself this morning. We had a very good conversation. These rules will apply to all houses of worship. Many of these communities have a large Orthodox population. I have been very close to the Orthodox community for many years. I understand the imposition this is going to place on them. And I said to them, I need their cooperation. I need their partnership. They're very cohesive communities. And I asked for them to work with me to follow these guidelines. And that was positively received. I said to them that I'm doing this for a very simple reason, because I have such respect and love for the Orthodox community. I have been friends with them all my life, and my father before me, by the way. We go way back, and it's out of respect and it's out of love, and it's because I want to protect them. In Jewish teaching, one of the most precious principles is saving a life, to save a life. The Torah speaks about how certain religious obligations can be excused if you are going to save a life. This is about saving a life. That's what this is. No large gatherings in synagogues, to save a life. You look at where the infection rate is. You look at those clusters. People will die in those clusters. And this is about protecting people and saving lives. And I felt very good about my conversation with the Orthodox community.